Back everybody to LA Radio Show. It's a Macadamia Monday. Call us here at 747-214-1744. And we do have a story behind the libation. We have Lauri, Kelly, and Diane here. We're
Lady
ready
Di.
to go. Yeah,
Lady
it's
Di in the
7-Eleven, and it's all about that. And we give you guys the scoop of it. Can you hear me? Everybody can hear me?
Yes.
Okay, good.
Good morning.
Good morning. So we'll step right in there. We got the drinks ready to go. So here we go.
This is a great commemorative drink, so I will let you ladies go ahead and explain it.
Okay, well, today we are drinking a Sully with a splash of Maui, as Diane beautifully named it. And my quick little story behind the Maui part of this libation today, Lauri and I attended LA Island Radio's Maui fundraiser the other day, and this beautiful woman just came to our table and dropped a pineapple on the table. And I took it home. I said, you know what? I'm going to use this in our drink on Monday.
Yeah.
And so this morning, I cut it up into chunks, put it in a food processor, and strained the juice out of it. So it's the splash of pineapple
the brand new
juice.
pineapple juice. I mean, from the fruit.
But it is called a Sully, so what is the story behind the Sully part of it?
Yeah.
So the Sully basically is, of course, everybody knows the miracle on the Hudson in New York City. I believe it was January 2016, where Captain Sully Sullenberger landed the U.S. Air Flight on the Hudson River once they had a bird strike. And so in Manhattan, when you go in, obviously, you know, everybody survived, and there's some amazing stories of people helping one another. You go to Manhattan and you walk in, and any bar or restaurant, you say, I'll have a Sully, and the bartender knows exactly what to offer up. So that's where that stemmed from. And, you know, cheers to Captain Sully and all the, you know, other Captain Sullys around our country on this very somber, still somber day. So we want to just honor them and be in remembrance of them and what they did and all the sacrifices that they made for that dreadful day. And it's definitely an infamy, and it'll live on in the rest of our lives. And I'll never forget. I will never ever forget. I will never forget.
And if you would like to drink the Sully at home with us, it's how we made it today was some vodka shaken with ice, strained over ice with a splash of soda, water, and for the Maui part, a little pineapple juice if you want.
Yes. Yes, because they're experiencing their own mini 9/11 as well. People in Lahaina. Yes.
Never
Well,
forget
you know,
both events.
we've talked about it, and I don't think we'll ever forget it. It's something that I think people that witnessed it and saw it, and it is tough to talk about it still, but we lost a lot of lives. It changed a lot of things throughout our lives too, because it changed how we travel.
Yep.
I mean, they had to take everything off when you
Definitely.
go to the TSA. That's because of that.
Yep.
And then it makes a lot of things. It changed a lot of things.
Well, whenever these things happen, what happened is we end up losing a lot of our freedoms, you know.
Yeah.
And I feel that a lot of this is by design. You know, when these things happen, it just gives the government an excuse to just get a tighter stranglehold on us, you know. And, you know, part of the reason we wanted to talk about this is Diane has been involved in 9/11, all kinds of things regarding 9/11, and you have a knowledgeable background in a lot of it. And I've just been researching what happened to Building 7, Beverly Eckhart, and all kinds of things, and it just opens your mind to the, if you want to say, controversies, whatever, conspiracy theories. But
well, you know what they say, rumors can be true.
Yeah, well, wherever there's smoke, there's
rumors,
fire.
There's always
you
truth
know?
behind it.
So these
People can't just make this stuff up.
Yeah,
it comes from somewhere.
The conspiracy theories are no longer conspiracy theories, you know.
Right.
Well, okay, Diane, you want to step in there and share with everybody?
I mean, like with September 11th, remember, they vowed that they would never, ever let us forget, and they vowed to the end of the earth to make sure that they would find the quote-unquote perpetrators. So the question is, did they?
Right.
You know, did they? Same thing with JFK.
Yeah.
Did they?
Well, when it's an inside job, they already know who the perpetrators are. It's just the narrative, like you said, the narrative.
They're not going to come out.
The narrative that they want to push.
Right.
So-
The worst part, to kind of bring it to modern day or bring it up to speed, the curriculum that they're teaching in the school is that we are the perpetrators and that the 9/11 terrorists, call them that, bad guys, label them everything evil and demonic, because that's exactly what it is and what it was on that fateful day, that dreadful day. They're teaching the young middle school that they are the victims, and that because of their religion, we were the ones did this to them, and that caused them to react in this way. And so how awful is that? Mm-hmm. How awful is that? And
well, let's try to step on that with the school board, the people in the education world.
Yeah,
we need to go after
parents.
them.
Yeah,
parents.
That is what I feel. It's the right way to do it. Mm-hmm. Instead of us going around in bushes and things, let's go direct to what are you guys doing?
Yeah.
Well, and it with any child in a public school, I mean, look at the curriculum that they are pushing, all of the crazy agendas that our children are learning about now, the food that they're eating, it's not even food. That they purposely serve, I hate to say it, but crap to our kids so that they are not healthy.
The food is a weapon.
Food is a weapon. You are exactly right. You are exactly right.
Okay.
And it's...
So I think we need to get on to the school board and just school direct, all those districts and things, so that way we can...
Because it all it starts at the top. And I mean, the teachers in the schools they're just basically following order. They're following direction,
right.
From the top. This all stems from the top. So...
Well, that's what I mean. We need to go to the school district, to all the administrators and everybody that's handling all this decision making.
Yeah.
Should definitely
parents have to stand up and get involved, and we can't be on the sidelines, even as citizens. Like, for instance, somebody said something to me the other day about a situation, and their response was, "I really don't want to get involved." And I thought to myself, well, that attitude and that sentiment and that statement is what got us to where we are as a country, as a nation. I don't want to get involved. And there's some times in my life where I've felt like, well, geez, I don't want to get involved. It's just for fear or just whatever. But then analyze fear. It's false evidence appearing real. Mm-hmm. So, it's just about standing up. It's like, wait a minute, that's not right. That's not right. It's not right that we allow the agenda to continue in the school. It's not right that we even forget about September 11th. And I mean, like, for instance, I feel like this is our own national Bethel. And so it's basically allowing ourselves to not forget and to go back to that awful day. And it requires us to remember and to have that intentional purpose, not to let something like this happen again, and to learn from it. I mean, we live in a country where we have two amazing oceans and we have all this resources. We live on the West Coast, there's East Coast, we've been on both coasts, and we've seen, and again, West Coast, Pacific, look at what Maui is going through. Mm-hmm. Again, this is their own 9/11, and it just... We have to hold them accountable, and we have to ask questions. Why is it that we can't ask questions? We're wired by the media to move on and just forget about it. Nothing to see here. Just keep moving. Just keep going.
Yes. Well, a lot of it's especially what I'm learning about Hollywood is basically Hollywood is the big distractor to all of these important issues that are going on that we're supposed to be getting involved in, and the things that they promote are just distractions for us. So... we're fighting. There's many battles that we're fighting, and there's this internal thing that's going on. It's between the global elite and the rest of the world.
There's always those two separate those two parties, or those kind of what do you call class or different.
Yes.
Well, then you said that, but then again, we just heard Morocco just had an earthquake. So. Now things happen all the time.
Well,
I don't mean to harp on it.
Yeah.
I just was researching. Have you ever heard of HAARP? I'm sure you've heard of HAARP. HAARP. It's a laser that they have been playing with. What they do is they get extremely hot temperatures and they shoot them up into the atmosphere, and it goes. It affects many different levels of the atmosphere. So what it does, it heats it up extensively, and then it rises, and basically it makes a bubble. The parts of the atmosphere rise, gets up very high. So there's this arc like a bubble, and then they turn the laser off, and then what happens? The atmosphere comes crashing down, whoosh, and that's what causes earthquakes.
Right.
So when I saw that last night, I was just like, wow.
Yeah.
And this is all intentional. They're doing
It's
this.
a distraction.
They're distraction. They're creating all of these little distractions because whatever their ultimate plan is, they don't want us privy to see what they're really doing behind the scenes.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know,
there's a verse in the Bible.
Unfortunately, there is there's lives that is cost, lost throughout this whole whatever distraction they're doing.
And that's the horrible thing. They don't even care. They don't even care about the human life. You know, human lives. We're going to create an earthquake here.
Collateral damage.
Thousands of people die. I mean, the whole 9/11 narrative that they're spinning about the 4 planes being hijacked. You can't even. How do you coordinate something like that? That's the narrative that they want us to believe. Like you said, the whole thing was an inside job. The Twin Towers, from the videos that I've been studying,
Building 7,
and the Building 7, it was a controlled demolition. It wasn't planes crashing into it. It was a controlled demolition.
Correct.
So this is something that they pre-planned, and they don't care how many people they kill.
Yeah.
They don't care about the loss of life. They just only care about their agenda. So these people, the part of the global elite that we're talking about, I hate to say it, I don't even know if they're human. I mean, it's honestly, it's what human being doesn't. They create this thing, this whole scenario, and thousands of people die.
I'm gonna go find them, Lauri.
They don't even care.
We'll go find them.
We all do.
But that's the negativity that we're dealing with. That's our true enemy right now.
Oh yeah, of course.
That's our true enemy.
They have all the resources, and they have all the money, the control, and everything.
Exactly.
So we hate to put it that way, but that's actual factual. That's just true. And then things happen. Wish we have some kind of direction or control, or who help us, tell us what is it, what do we need to do, how are we going to do it, right? So go ahead, Diane.
No, I was just going to say they want to be God. They have removed God, and they're in the process of removing God. They want to be God with a little G, of course. They think they are.
Oh, okay.
And so the government is God, and that's what they want. And so they create the problems that they already have the solution for. And so they come in and say, we'll create TSA. So now you got to take your shoes off, take your belt off, take your drawers off, just everything. Search the 7-year-olds, search. So everybody is a suspect. And so with that, they're the ones doing the control. They're controlling the narrative. They're creating it. They're creating the problems so they can come in with their own solution.
Yes, they're like, we're going to save you.
Chipping away our freedoms, taking away First Amendment. We talked about the mini Constitution. I have the app on my phone. It just, they want to take away everything. Freedoms.
Yes.
Create those 15, 10-minute cities, things like that. What happened to the $27 trillion that was missing the day before September 11th?
Didn't Donald Rumsfeld give a speech about they couldn't, there was money that was missing.
27 trillion.
Yes. I just read that this morning, and
where's that money?
I know
what was it used for? What was it used for? Was that? Yeah.
I know where it's not.
Yeah, somebody's hand.
You know what? It costs a lot of money to coordinate. It costed a lot of money to coordinate 9/11 to make it happen.
Well, I'm sure it took them a while to put a blueprint, make sure this whole thing is designed the way they.
The blueprint. That's perfect way to put it.
Well, so it goes what they're supposed to do. So, Yeah, everybody call us here at 747-214-1744. Are we going to get a story, or this is basically what we're doing?
Well, at the end, I'm going to read one. I'm going to read a poem.
I'll be right
tie
back,
it in.
everybody. Don't go anywhere. Got Lauri Kelly and Diane right here live. LAIslandRadio.com. No. Everybody, no. Welcome back, everybody, to the No Show. It's a live show right here on LAIslandRadio.com. We got Lauri Kelly and Diane, and we just there's so much to talk about. So much to talk about, and it's I don't think we'll take one show to do it. You got to take it's more and more shows about.
There's a lot of information.
So a lot of information. So go ahead, Diane, share with everybody.
So one thing that definitely struck me, I mean, you just handed me the LA Times and the picture at Ground Zero and just the aftermath and the devastation. I mean, I still couldn't believe what I was seeing when it happened. And I mean, watching it live time, I had I couldn't believe it. And like everybody else, woke up to text messages and the phone ringing, and then so many stories have come out of this ever since. There's a couple of things. One survivor victim that comes to mind is the Beverly Eckhart story, and a lot of people probably don't even know about her just because she was silenced, if you will, in so many ways. She was on the phone with her husband when the buildings was collapsing around him, and he was explaining to her what was happening. They tried to go up to the roof, but everything was locked. They went down, go this way, go left, go right, and it was just, again, organized chaos.
Yes, exactly. Like they were trapped.
And
they were trapped. There was going to be no escape.
And it just sounds so much like Maui, like Paradise, California, and all those other stories where you hear the aftermath stories about people trying to flee and get out. And her, basically, she said in her own words, she didn't want to sit back and just be a victim, and she hated that word. And she went to Papa Bush to say hey and to find out what happened. She wanted to know what happened. And they didn't.
She started the commission report, like she was the creator of the commission.
Correct.
9/11
She wanted it to go to
report
court
to find exactly what happened.
Because going to court, you have to call witnesses, and everybody as a witness has a story. And she wanted to find out, and they wanted to do the $1.8 million awarded for each victim, and she didn't want that. She did not want that. And with that said, with all her investigating and everything that she found out, she was invited by Barry, who is otherwise known as Barack Obama.
Okay.
Yeah, that's, his real name, Hussein.
Okay.
So she was invited to the White House, and shortly after that, she perished in a plane crash.
How convenient.
Yes.
Yeah, because she didn't.
Why?
She didn't want to take the money.
Why?
She wanted to continue the investigation. She wasn't gonna.
Why?
Yeah, she wasn't gonna be paid off, and so
Right.
she perished. How convenient for them.
Yeah. So she is another victim of September 11th, and not also too the 4 servicemen that perished on September 11th, 2012 in Benghazi. No one talks about that.
Well, I don't
either.
think I don't know about that.
Yeah, no, in Benghazi, in Libya, where it was a story where they try to say it was a narrative and it was a meme, and all the Muslims, they were upset about the meme, and they burned the compound with, I believe the congressman was Chris, his name is Chris, the last name escapes me, but I'm sure one of our callers would probably call in and give the last name, but and that's, again, same thing, the servicemen and women that died in Iraq in August, and like today, where's the president? He's not at Ground Zero, he's in Alaska. They sent the vice president, who's just in the midst of everybody cackling like a hyena, and we don't need that. And I know it's optics and everything, but why is he in Alaska? Maybe a zip code doesn't matter, but I'm sorry, Ground Zero wasn't in Alaska. It was Ground Zero in New York City, Washington, D.C., and Shanksville, Pennsylvania. So what does enough look like for us as Americans? And we need to adapt that Todd Beamer attitude when he says, let's roll. Let's roll. And what is enough looks like for us. And, this is, it just, again, just getting away with murder, and it just seems like they're getting away with everything, you know.
Yep. Well, there was I don't remember the actual story, but I remember reading about a woman whose son had just been killed in just in fighting, just in the past month. Her son was killed. He was in the armed forces, and Biden. She went to the White House, and Biden was what she thought was he was going to just say how sorry he was for your loss and all of this, and they gave a tiny little speech, and then immediately he was like, "Would you like a photo op? Would you like to take a picture with me?" And that's not what she wanted to hear. What do you mean? Do I want to take a picture with you? I just lost my son. How can you just brush it off and say this is a photo op? I mean, it was very heartless.
It's all optics,
and that just shows me how these people just really don't care.
They don't, and everything is just about what it looks like. There's nothing about, you know, anything else, the real substance or whatever. It's just what it looks like. How do I look like? Look at FEMA and Maui. They're staying at the Four Seasons Hotel. It's $1,000 a night. $1,000 a night.
That's
at the
absolutely
Four Seasons.
ridiculous.
Well, while people lost their homes,
Yes.
and have nowhere to go.
It tells you what they're working on and
Exactly.
how
Where are the priorities?
Yeah.
Where's the concern?
they're just like, okay, we're just gonna do this, and then we'll stay at this place and let everybody else figure this out.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the last name just came to me. It was Christopher Stevens, Ambassador Christopher Stevens. He was the ambassador to Libya, and he was the one who also perished with the servicemen that were trying to protect him in Libya, and it was September 11th, 2012. And we can't forget those guys: Sean Smith, Glenn Doherty, and Tyrone Woods. We can't forget those guys. Those were heroes as well.
And what's the worst part about this is everything we're being fed. This is all propaganda, and you know, I didn't understand exactly how propaganda has been. We've been just being force-fed all of this, but there was an Anti-Propaganda Act in 1940 where the United States was not allowed to use any propaganda on its own citizens.
Right.
Okay, for years, we could use it on the rest of the world, which obviously we have been, but we were not allowed to use it on our own citizens. And then July 2nd, 2013, the government reenacted where that, you know what, we're just going to wipe that. We're going to start using it on our own citizens.
Yeah.
And that's when a lot of things
That's
changed.
under 8 years of Barry and Biden.
They're all of the left and the right. They're the same. They are working. They're the left arm, and then there's a right arm. They're working for the same body of global elite. So there is no difference between the left and the right. They're just at opposite ends of the spectrum, but they're, you know.
It's called the Smith-Mundt Act.
Is that what
Is that what that
That's
is?
what it's
That's
called.
the propaganda act?
Yes, the Smith-Mundt Act.
That's what Mike
That's
Rogers
it.
was telling me.
Yeah.
So if for those of you that, I don't know if you really understand what propaganda is, but I crafted a poem a couple weeks ago. May I go ahead and read it for you guys?
Before you do that, real quick, so it says 2,750 people were killed in New York, 184 at the Pentagon, and 40 in Pennsylvania. So all those people that lost their lives because of this event, why did this happen? After all these conspiracy theories, everything we're talking about, what was the goal here?
Yeah.
Do you know anything?
The goal is they create the problem so that they can swoop in and say, now we're going to save you. And,
Yeah.
but
was it to continue the war that they were in?
it's to continue war because war is very profitable.
We're still there. It's been 30 years we've been there.
It's to take away. It's to take away our civil liberties. It's to take away our civil liberties, and just that's the main thing.
Yeah.
Is each time there's a tragedy that they've created, they'll step in and say, "Oh, we're going to do this now. We're going to make you safer. We've got this law. We've got this law." And each of these laws strips away our civil liberties.
Exactly,
and we're less free than we were
real quick,
the day
Lauri,
before.
and then you can segue too, because it's called the Obama Smith Modernization Act. It was basically legalizing the propaganda to be used on American citizens,
That.
and so when is enough for us, and what does that look like for our lives and our families? And
Well, these people,
What does modern propaganda look like?
Yeah.
I can tell you. I'll answer that. I was in Tel Aviv, and before I went to Tel Aviv, a lot of my friends was like, "Why are you going there? Why are you going to Israel? Isn't there a war there?" And
Right.
of course, because that's the propaganda that's used on us.
Yeah.
It's a sandbox and it's constant war. But you get to Tel Aviv and you don't realize, first of all, it's the size of New Jersey. You can look it up. And the people there are super nice. Israel feeds the entire Mediterranean region with all the flowers, food, of course, the wine, and
Most importantly.
yeah, and it's a Mediterranean. It's a thriving place. It's a bustling city, and the best way for me to describe it is it's a lot like a cross between Miami Beach and Santa Monica when you're on the coast there in Tel Aviv, and then of course you go up to Jerusalem and you go to the wall and what have you. But that is a very special place. And to circle back to all your questions about why, it starts with Israel. It starts with the nation of Israel.
I think so.
It really, really does.
They needed a reason to continue the war.
and it's almost like they want to destroy. When you destroy that that homeland and that golden place, it's like the heart of who we are, of where humanity is. And if they can destroy that, then they've destroyed the world.
Diluting the sovereignty of the United States. Because without that, it's a global government. And all the things that they're doing to neuter us and destabilize us.
Perfect word.
Okay, well, we're going to take another show because I think we need more shows on this subject. And definitely, but today we got this pin, and it's 9/11, and it's a subject that we're still going to, I guess, end of time, we'll continue to talk about it, get to the bottom of it.
Yeah.
I don't think we ever will.
Yeah. I mean, on both coasts, Pearl Harbor and our 9/11 on both of our oceans.
So I don't know if that will ever come through in some point, because they don't want us to know the truth.
No, they don't. They don't.
Because if we do, then everything else is going to come out.
Well, because I'm telling you, it's all propaganda. So if you want me to, I can read this, and then this will be the lead out in our show.
Sure, definitely.
So this is called the propaganda dealers. Okay, when policymakers in society create laws that restrict and enslave many, but only benefit the few, the path traversed eventually leads to destruction. The ones in power are very strategic. By using a systems approach, they understand how to manipulate and control the masses. They know what inputs will garner a specific output. They are masters of disillusion. The main input is propaganda, and it is used to generate fear. These individuals want more power. They need more profits. They desire ultimate control. They possess an endless need to feed the greed. Greed is an energy of a lower vibration. It can never be satisfied. The void will never be filled because greed is insatiable. It only requires more and more of whatever it needs. The incessant need to feed will eventually destroy itself and everything in its path. Greed fails to realize that continuing this dynamic will only lead to its destruction. The monster inside greed is selfishness. It does not matter the cost. Its only concern is that it gets what it needs. One way to accomplish this is for policymakers to push fraudulent agendas. The fraudulent vaccine agenda has not only cost many their health, but has cost many their life. It was and always has been a money-making scam. Greed has created a society where obesity is now the norm. Multinational corporations push chemicals as food. Toxins are sprayed into the air and put into the drinking water. Our children are confused about their gender. They want to attempt to block the sun while pushing a false climate issue. The mainstream media are the propaganda dealers who deliver these warped narratives. This is done to perpetuate fear and confusion. The public is being force-fed physical, emotional, and psychological toxins at warped speed, while the dealers are being handsomely rewarded. They are paid not only to make but keep humanity sick. They are paid to keep the masses confused. Mainstream media will be rewarded as long as they continue to play their part. And they will continue, because a dealer's main focus is to make money. They will continue to be the mouthpiece for injustice and inequality. They are worse than their enablers because they know, but choose to continue the charade. The propaganda dealers do not care who gets hurt, as long as they are the ones who continue to profit.
That's amazing, Lauri. So good.
All
Snap,
right.
snaps.
Yeah.
Thank you.
We're waving our flags. And I just want to say real quickly, just to add to that as well, when I was in Israel, the news cycle there is so completely different from what we see here. Yeah. I really was blown away. I don't want to use that term, but they have the Iron Dome, so it's okay. But it was crazy. I remember just to follow up with you, what I wanted to say was when I was there, that was the day that President Trump bombed Soleimani, and I kept getting text messages. We see that they're bombing Israel, and I'm like, they're not bombing Israel. We're here. I mean, we got out. It was tough to get out because it's always a threat. They are always under just constant watch, and they should. They have a right to exist. And the borders, what about the borders? What about the borders?
Oh, yeah, that's a whole separate
That's
one,
another
too.
whole
Yeah.
new show.
Heaven has a gate.
too.
Heaven has a gate, and there's a vetting process.
Right.
So it's an established order from God. And it's the question is why.
I think we all sitting over here and talking about 9/11, and everything else going around, the earthquake, Maui. 2024 is not far away.
No. Oh, and that reminds me.
Yeah.
In Lahaina, there's going to be a arms locking. So wherever you are, it's supposed to happen January 20th.
Okay.
That they want everybody on the island to lock arms in solidarity.
Wow.
Okay.
So,
But what I'm saying is, hopefully, all this political world we're looking at is going to have some impact in all what's going on for the general public.
oh, you bet they got more
I hope the
coming.
general public here understand the way it's going, what's
Yeah.
going on.
And we have to wait.
People are becoming more
Well-
aware. They're waking up.
Well-
they're understanding that what's going on now is, this is by design.
Right.
This
True.
is all by design.
But then again, we have a lot of smart people, intelligent people, but then again, they just don't have, the guts or the whatever you call it to make that effort or to make that decision.
Well, it's the fear, remember?
Right,
Yeah,
of course.
it's the fear.
That's what I mean. We can throw all this stuff out there and do all this, but then people itself, it's just going to not go with
Yeah.
whatever that it's on or what is popular.
Once people are refusing to take this anymore, once they realize what's really going on and say, I am not going to allow this to happen, you cannot do this to me, when everybody really, really gets it, that's when change will occur.
1776.
That's when change will occur. When
1776.
everybody has the same mindset
Correct.
and they get it, that's when change will occur. We're not there yet. There's the people are popping up here and there, but not everybody has the same mindset yet and really gets what's going on.
But then again, they have their all set up their resources for a reason.
Right.
Because for that, they know when people start waking up, they're
Yeah.
going to have to find a way how to
Exactly.
get that around there.
Well, and that's why everything's happening so quickly now, and it's such mass fervor, because people are waking up and they're getting desperate.
And
so now they're throwing everything at us at one time because they have to.
And then have all these distractions and everything
Exactly.
as they were trying to get focus, losing and concentration
Yes.
and the conversations and all that.
Yep. And it starts with Israel. And we'll take it back to Israel because
We're blaming Israel.
76 AD, this is what happened to the Israelites, where their enemies breached their gates of their cities and they took over and they destroyed Israel. And so you bring it back to modern day United States. Well, what's our city gates? Our city gates is New York City. And our enemies on September 11th descended. And our hedge of protection was destroyed that day. that day. That day. And so if United States was modeled after Israel, and what say we?
When you look into the symbolism of what that is, when you look a little deeper, it's powerful, but it's dark. You know, it's very dark.
Yeah, there is, but there's still hope and there's still light.
Yeah, hopefully like I said, 2024 is not far away.
Yep.
It's going to be a whole lot of chaos coming.
Yes, it is.
We're gonna fight for the ones
correct.
that are still asleep.
Because-
We're gonna fight for you.
Because other
as well.
people,
gonna
they're
wake them
going to
up.
know what is right, but they're still going to do the other way.
Yeah.
That's what I'm feeling. Even though we have so much information, so much truth, so much going on, and they still going to do the other thing. I go, what are you thinking?
Well, we
But
can't.
you said it,
what are you
David. It's
thinking?
information,
Yeah.
and it's a war for your mind.
Yes,
Right.
it is. That's
so
exactly
well,
what it is.
then they were saying all this conspiracy theory, and all that, and then the media's just loading everybody up.
Yes.
Oh, they're
Yeah.
bad or that. They don't believe
They're the
that.
mouthpiece. The media is the
that's what I'm
mouthpiece.
saying.
They're the
They're not
mouthpiece.
dumb people. No, these are very intelligent people, and they're doing the same thing.
Yeah, with
That's
high-
what I'm saying.
Yeah.
It's like what
We need
takes
to break
for
out
us
of that
to
box.
understand this professor, doctor, whatever, and he's following his thing.
Exactly.
It doesn't make
exactly.
sense.
Yeah.
Because you ask yourself, they must be really, really dumb,
Right.
or what
They
is
just
going
don't know
on
any
here?
better. They just
So
don't
That's
then-
what I'm
know any
saying.
better.
There's a very, very lot of intelligent people,
Yeah,
smart people.
I mean, they all come from the same group. They
Right.
all come out of Rhodes Scholar.
right. Very
So,
smart.
yeah,
They're
so
not, but they
all the Ivy
can't see
Leagues.
the other side, or they come process all that. Nah, that's just considered. Don't worry about it. It's not a big
No,
deal.
they've signed on to the agenda.
Right. So, but that's what's going on. Well, especially our state.
So how do we fight back, and what does that look
that
like?
is a very good question. That is a very good question.
What does it look
Yeah.
like?
Man, I
Fighting
mean,
back is not being afraid to speaking up, speaking our
True,
thoughts, letting
true.
people know, hey, this is how I feel politically, and just sharing it and getting it out there. Just sharing the information that we have learned. That's how we fight back.
Okay.
You know?
Well said.
Well,
So
What do you think, Kelly? We're good?
Kelly, she's the baby.
Kelly's glass is empty right now. She's got things.
Yeah, look at mine's gone
How
too.
old were you when September 11th happened?
So I was born a month after 9/11.
Oh, you have no
So
idea. Okay.
yeah,
Yeah.
I
Okay.
learned about it in school, but it was really more like over the loudspeaker, have a 1 minute silence.
Right.
And then the teacher will talk about it for 2 minutes and then move on
That's
with
about
what
it.
they're
Right.
wanting to teach you. So I really didn't learn a lot about it. I don't know. I watched movies about it. I watched documentaries because I had history class the day that it was on 9/11. So my teacher, this was one day where we watched a whole documentary and, the people on the ground that were, trying to fight this thing and help people. But it just was mind blowing.
Yeah.
It looked really just like there was no hope. There was like nothing they could do what they could do.
Like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I've been feeling, I told Lauri this, and this is completely, we've been talking about a lot of crazy things today, but just to add to it,
All
right
truth,
now, the world, like, America feels really pre-apocalyptic right now. And there's a lot of things, there's a lot of reasons why, and some of it's pretty biblical, which is weird. Like, Nevada is covered in
You wanted to live in biblical
locusts.
times.
Well,
We all
Nevada,
chose to be here. We all
well,
chose to be here.
there's the floods.
Yeah.
There's the
Yes.
fires.
Yes.
There's
the
Nevada
earthquakes.
that's covered in locusts.
Pestilence.
Great.
Pest,
Yes.
yeah.
Is that the Burning Man?
Burning
Oh
Man.
my God! I have a picture. I was
Burning
on
Man
a
looks
flight.
like Iraq, like right after 9/11.
I was on a flight
It's
to
really
Utah,
bad.
and I saw it. I'll have to show it to you. I didn't know what it was.
Yeah, it
I
was
did
crazy.
not know what it was.
Chris Rock got a ride from a fan on the back of
Chris Rock.
on the back of a truck, and he wouldn't stop talking about cold brew. He said, "I want a cold brew," and he's standing there with mud all over himself.
Oh my God! Wow.
Well, there's so much going on. Believe it or not,
America will remain America. There's a
Well,
lot of there's a lot of things you can say to that.
1776.
Well,
I want a cold brew.
I want to go to Disneyland.
We're drinking vodka at 9:15. It's America.
We'll go to Disneyland.
5 o'clock somewhere. 5 o'clock somewhere.
Kelly finally woke up. Sorry.
No, it's okay. But you know what? You said something really important. And I've been to almost 99 different countries. And the one thing that I always get is we want to go to America.
Wow.
We want to be free.
Right.
We want the American
Because we
No
make
best
movies
country.
and music. Why?
and
We got Disneyland.
I
we got
have
Hollywood.
I have many friends that tell me they want husbands, wives, girlfriends. They want to be a part of. They want the American dream. They
Of course.
want that. They want that, and nobody's leaving. We're all. Excuse me. We're all these people
Well,
that
it's
said
still
in
packed.
2016.
It's still packed the freeway.
Remember when everybody said, a lot of
Yeah.
the celebrities, oh, if he wins, if DJ, Donald
Right.
Trump
Yeah.
wins,
Yeah.
they're still here.
There's right.
They still live behind those
Well,
gates.
Donald Trump is part of the establishment. He's just not the not so obvious establishment. So they pulled him in to reel people back in because people were losing. People were not buying it anymore. So they find these people they're the not so obvious establishment to reel them back in, and that's exactly what Trump did.
Well, we have to call Trump up.
So.
Tell him to come on the show because he's supposed to be coming in town.
I think
Are you
so.
serious?
Yeah.
When?
He's supposed
Yeah.
to be here somewhere in Costa
When you
Mesa.
see traffic gets worse,
Yeah.
OC
Ooh, I
Fair,
didn't know
maybe?
that.
I'll go.
He'll be in a dunk tank.
Yeah. You always say, "We'll make America great again."
No.
No, I mean, you can't
You know, he's
stop.
supposed to be here at some fundraising.
Okay.
Republican
Yeah.
thing,
Interesting.
Where's-
For what are they raising funds for?
For the Republican.
For his party, yeah.
there's
Oh,
no-
he's
yeah.
on his little.
What is-
Okay, he's on his little tour.
The Trump phenomenon.
Yeah, yeah.
The Trump
I like
phenomenon.
that. He's on
He
his
wasn't
little
doing
tour.
much. Little tour.
He's on his little
No.
presidential election tour.
Lauri, you remember
Sounds
now?
okay.
You remember that song, "The Funk Phenomenon"?
There you go.
Is Biden
gonna
even
be the
doing
Trump
anything?
phenomenon.
No, he's in
Alaska.
Is that for
Biden.
his little tour?
Well,
No,
he's
that's
vacationing.
just get out of town. We
Yeah,
don't want to
he's
see your
vacationing.
face on 9/11 because you're a
Because
jackal.
9/11 today. Well, all the jokes on the side because we lost a lot of people at 9/11. Innocent people.
2,750
Yes.
I want
lives.
to remember
That's
those
a
people.
lot.
Like I said,
Yeah.
this is our national
And
Bethel.
then
Yeah.
From that part of that, to see people suffering from illness
Yep.
to this day.
Yes.
A lot of
Yes.
firefighters, a lot of fire guys, they're still suffering from all that. So we can kind of joke about it, but the bottom line is serious.
Yes.
It's
I
real.
still think of that image of the lady. Is her photo was called the Dust Lady. I don't know, Lauri, if you saw it.
I don't know if
the
I saw
Dust
that
Lady. Kelly, she was the one who was covered in ash, and there's a still photo of her with her arm up like this, and yeah, that's her,
Oh
the
my
Dust Lady,
gosh.
and that picture was seen
Marcy Borders.
all
Yeah.
over the globe.
Well,
And
no, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
We talk about it, trying to find answers, find the truth, but
Was
still,
she- was she there?
there was innocent people that lost their lives.
She was working in the building.
Yeah.
She exited. She was able to get out. You can read her story, her family, obviously, and all the servicemen and women that subsequently got
Worked
cancer.
on the
They
81st
didn't
floor.
perish in the rubble, but the cancers from all the carcinogens
Right,
and all that
the-
stuff,
all the
the
different-
aftermath, all kinds of other
yeah,
things.
it's
Yeah.
still going on.
And it's the same thing with Maui that they're talking about. The
It's going to be a
people
lot of aftermath stuff.
that are doing the cleanup that are not wearing the protective PPP, all the right gear because of all the DEWs
Right.
stemming from that. And
from the
so the
fires.
false, again, back to false image and all the mask of the fake people running around
Don't forget,
making
this COVID's coming
speeches.
back.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh,
Did you get your
Eric,
COVID
sorry.
shot?
Yeah, I got 4 of them. See my arms.
Look, I'm glowing in the dark. I'm really dark and I'm glowing
Don't
in
forget,
the
COVID's
dark.
coming back, guys. Then we're going to get shots again.
Did you get a shot? Did you get a shot? Did you get a shot?
No, I know. No.
Did you get
No,
a shot?
no shot.
Did you get a shot?
No
I'm
shot over
kidding.
here.
I'm kidding. No.
So
No,
it's
no
up to you
shots
guys
for me.
out there. But then again, please remember everybody, 9/11, Morocco people, Lahaina. in your prayers. That's all we can
Yes.
ask. Ask
Put a
God. God
flag-
help us.
Put your
God
flag
save
out.
this
Don't
country.
hide your
Yeah,
American
yeah.
flag.
Well, really quick, thank you to our council people for not mandating the vaccine or
Right.
masks
There's
right
that.
now.
We voted for them. But I voted
Right.
for them, man.
Tony Strickland's and the crew.
But did you see that, you guys? We
the
are.
Fab Four.
Right.
Yeah, I saw an article in the Epoch Times how it said California City is pushing back, and so
Right.
we are the first city that pushed back on
yeah.
mask mandates and vaccine mandates.
That's
and so hopefully
amazing.
we're set. And this was in the Epoch Times. It said city, Huntington Beach is pushing
There's a bunch
forward.
of rebels.
Yeah,
The
and-
same
yeah.
city that has the largest 4th of July parade
Parade.
from
Air
here
show.
Oh,
to
yeah.
Seattle.
Right.
Thank you very much.
Turning a little purple. Adding some red on that blue.
But anyway, thanks guys coming by. Hopefully it won't be the last time. We'd like to see you guys again. And follow the White Picket Fence and
White
the
Picket Fence, LauriFlorentine-Howell.net. Books
Okay.
are available. Provocative Poet videos, we have 3 of them. Maybe we can film another one in the next week or 2. I'm getting ready. I'm getting the shots ready. So that's
Well, I
where-
don't
that's
have
where
a
we-
white picket fence. I am wearing my Polly's Push T-shirt.
Okay.
And so he is a former flight attendant.
Okay.
He pushes the beverage cart from his hometown.
Is there like
on
a
the east.
website or thing? Or
Yes,
social media?
Polly'sPush.com. Yeah, you
Okay.
can find him on Facebook
Polly's
and
Push.
Instagram. So he starts, I think, mid-June, July, and he literally pushes a beverage cart across the country, an aircraft beverage cart, and he ends up at Ground Zero every
nice.
year. And
Oh,
so he's
great.
been doing it for quite some time. So
We
we want to
definitely want
shout
to
out.
support him.
Shout out to him and all the first responders that support him
Yeah.
and his charity event. If you want to support, buy a T-shirt, get a mug.
Online.
We're thinking about you.
On social media and
Yes,
online, right?
yes, you
Everything.
can find
okay,
him at
good,
Polly's
good.
Push.
And it's Paulies.
Yes.
Polly?
Polly's
Polly's
Push.
Push.
Apostrophe S. Yeah.
Powerful.
So
Yeah, Paulie is his name. He's Paulie.
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 Okay, and he's pushing
Paulie
a
Beverage cart.
Beverage cart.
for
Yeah.
all
In
the
remembrance
airlines,
for 9/11,
all those people
yeah.
for 9/11.
Yep,
So
all for
that's
Americans, yeah.
wonderful. And we'll get you a fortune cookie right now. Then we'll find the exit door.
Mine is really another one that is near and dear for now. A small act of charity will go a long way.
Yes,
Hey.
we are doing it. We are doing it.
Yes. Yes.
And you're doing a charity event coming up, right? We'll talk about it.
We are, yeah. HHYC, we are doing a fundraiser event for Maui, October 6th on a Friday, and it's going to be great. We're
Okay.
raising funds that are going to go to the Maui Strong Fund.
Good.
And yeah, no, it's going to
Yeah,
be great.
and
More
always-
details to come for
Yeah,
sure.
for those of you out there, whenever you give money, always vet
Right.
who's receiving your money. Always vet that situation.
Okay, great. And then Polly's Push.
Polly's Push,
On
that's my
social
charity
media
on
and
social media
media
for
and-
Ground Zero and the victims of 9/11.
Nice.
And forever, I have a different fortune, but mine I always hold on to is, I'm going to say this without tears, is thanks to all the men who stood up on Flight 93 that went into Shanksville, Pennsylvania, and to Mr. Todd Beamer, who said, "Let's roll. Let's roll."
Was that one of the guy that jumped
Yes.
in and
Yes.
fought the...
Todd Beamer.
Yep.
Okay.
And we
Yep.
we want to
He-
remember his wife and
Right.
his family, and we love you, and we're thinking about you, and to all those men that said, "Let's roll."
Yeah,
Right.
that's the spirit that we
Nice.
need. We
Let's
need to
roll.
keep.
Yes, mine it says that the real kindness comes from in with you. So it starts with me.
Yeah.
So I have to do that. Oh yeah. Okay. Never mind. Who is this guy? The phone rang. Okay. We'd love to Lauri
That's
now.
Harp.
What's Lauri's fortune cookie?
You know what? I didn't do a fortune
Okay,
today
there's
because,
one right
because I read the
here.
proper.
Right
My voice is.
No, it's right there.
It's your
Open
fortune.
it up. Just open it up. Sometimes that happens. But thanks again, everybody. Appreciate it very much. Just remember everybody in your prayers from New York, 9/11, Morocco, Lahaina, and everywhere else, and whoever's suffering and going through some challenges.
Mine says life must be lived forward, but can only be understood backwards.
Okay.
Ooh, that's a little tongue
Okay.
twister
So
one.
I can add to that. It's a reason why you have a larger your windshield window is larger than your rear view.
Ooh, I like that.
You see the more on your foot. Thanks again. We'll do it again, and hopefully the show will be rebroadcast tonight at 6 Pacific Standard Time. And be safe and be nice, and give Laura a chance.
Thank you.